Hello everybody, today I am back with a revision tips and study video because it is obviously exam season. Luckily for me, I have just had my exam week all finished and I've had literally all my end of year tests and I've had mock GCSE and a couple of other little bits, and along the way of revising, if you guys get me, I actually picked up quite a few tips that I never really thought of before, and I just wanted to share them with you all today. When browsing through YouTube trying to look through some of these videos for inspiration, I found that most of the tips they were giving out were pretty much just to highlight your work, and I wanted to make this video slightly different. Highlighting your work is only really good for visual learners, and I'm not a visual learner, so none of those tips really helped me. So here in my video, I actually have some tips for visual learners, audible learners, and kinesthetic learners, which are basically learners through movement. So hopefully in this video there is something that will help you guys out, and without further ado, let's get started. So I'd say my first tips are pretty basic, and they are basically just to get yourself ready. So i.e. tie your hair up, get it out of your face just like I've done here, and get your space ready. Whether you guys want to revise on your bed or on your desk in school or all the way in the library, it really doesn't matter too much, but scientifically I've heard that you shouldn't revise on your bed because then you associate your bed with a place of work, and it means you don't concentrate as much when you work and you find it harder to get to sleep. So I don't know, I like to revise on the floor personally. I just don't like the idea of sitting down on my desk and revising. It's a bit too formal for me. Sitting on my bed though, apparently is not great, so the floor, I guess, is the next best place. So get yourself comfy, get on the floor, you know, put some cushions around, I like to put a big book on the floor so I have something nice and sturdy to write on or whatever, and just get your space ready. Then one of my main tips is that you actually want to start getting everything ready, like food and drinks, before you start revising. Some people say what helps them is to get some sweet or something, like a jelly bean, and put it at the end of every paragraph in their textbook. But personally that doesn't really help me because I sort of just end up eating all the sweets. So you basically just want to get as many snacks as you can around you. So it is important that these snacks are quite healthy because you want to have quite slow releasing energy food to keep you through your revision period. So I love nice cream. You guys know that it's just frozen bananas and a fruit of your choice, so raspberries in this case, blended together, put it in a bowl, and then you can decorate it how you like. I like to have mango on mine. Oats are amazing, mixed in, oh, it's really nice. Chia seeds, loads of good stuff like that. Obviously, you want to have some water next to you to stop yourself from getting thirsty, and then I like to also have a sweet treat or something. Just have a heck load of snacks by you. On to actual studying tips, I would recommend taking a test online. Just type in what type of learner are you, and there are plenty of tests on there to see if you are an audible, visual or kinesthetic learner, and it will have loads of techniques up on there for you as to what methods will help you revise best depending on what type of learner you are. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my tips for visual learners. From my research, it shows that they like to write a lot of things and sort of have a lot of highlighting going on, and I made this folder. This was actually my homework, and it's for RS, my GCSE thingy. A lot of my friends who are visual learners tend to literally have their whole books as a colouring book, and it just looks really pretty and nicely laid out, but personally I am not like that. I prefer my notes to be all black and white, and really I just find that more clear for me. But this folder did help me quite a lot. There's a lot of work inside here. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a lot of pages, and I just decorated it and made it look as nice and sort of visually pleasing as I could. As you can see with my keywords page. If you are a visual learner though, I would definitely highlight it and colour code it. That would probably help you quite a lot. And then there's also another technique which I'm going to share with you now. I've heard some people call this the Roman room technique, but I don't know, I'm just going to call it the room technique. Basically, if you're a visual learner, I want you to close your eyes, and wherever you are, I want you to imagine every single thing in your room. And whatever you guys end up picturing in your room, I want you guys to either write it down or memorize it. And then I want you to take a flashcard or a post-it note and maybe write a keyword down on there and then stick it on to everything you thought of in your room. So for example, if I thought of my tapestry, I would get a little post-it note and I would stick it onto my tapestry, and then every time I saw or thought of my tapestry, the keyword would go along with it. Then once you're in your test, you sort of think of what's in your room, and as you're thinking of it, you're gonna visualize it, and you're also gonna visualize your little keywords flashcard, and it will just jog your memory, and it should hopefully work really well. Other than that, some quick tips are definitely to make loads of mind maps and stick them all around your walls and stuff. Do lots of highlighting, as I said. Draw little doodly pictures along with a piece of information to help sort of visualize it. In maths, definitely try and use lots of diagrams, maybe when thinking of fractions and stuff. And those, I'd say, are like my best tips for visual learners. Similarly, for kinesthetic learners or learners of movement, I'd say my biggest tip is very similar to the visual room technique. So if you are a learner of movement, I want you to close your eyes and think of as many different everyday actions you do. For example, opening and closing your door. Once you have thought of that everyday action, you want to get a post-it note or a flashcard again and stick it to one side of your door, the side you use to open it, and maybe the definition of your keyword or something on the other side of your door when you close it. Very similarly to the visual learning technique, every time you open and close your door, you're going to see the keyword and the definition, and it's going to jog your memory every time you do that action of opening and closing your door of what the keyword is and what the definition is. And I'm kind of a little bit of a movement learner, and that does help me quite a bit. Some other examples of where you could stick these post-it notes are on your light switch, so turning on and off your light, and on your makeup drawer. So when you open and close your drawer, you're gonna see the little piece of information, and it's just little tiny things that will help you revise all day long whenever you're in your room. Another idea is to make up actions to what you're trying to learn. So for example, learning quotes from the Crucible, which I have to do for my current English assessment. I would make up little actions to everything which help me memorize it, so I can go like, out of it all comes Proctor's roaring voice. How do you call heaven, haw haw? I have previously done that to help me learn RS quotes from the Bible or the Quran or something. Just don't do it in front of your family, because they will more than likely take the piss out of you for it. On to audible learners, which are my faves because I am an audible learner. I learn pretty much everything through having it explained to me and really talking through it and recording myself saying things. And that is my bomb technique of learning. That is the best way for me to learn, just by saying things out loud over and over and over again. One tip that literally I will never ever stop using, and I will literally recommend to everyone because it helps me so much, is just to make up a song for everything. It's the best thing I do to revise. If I'm stuck on memorizing something, a song will just plant it into my brain, and those songs will never go away. You can literally either make up a song, or you can change the lyrics to a song and plant in your new educational ones. And That is literally just the best technique I've ever thought of. In science, for example, me and my friend actually made up a little song slash rap thing to Addicted to My Ex. You know, the one that goes like, I flex on my ex every time that she said. Yeah, we did it to like our common speeds, because in the new GCSE course we have to learn the common speed of someone walking, cycling, speed limits on a motorway. So we went like, I'm walking at 1.4 meters per second but cycling at 6, yeah. I know my speed limit is 10.5 because I live in a town, yeah. I'm taking the ferry at 18 per second and my speed limit is 31, etc, etc. We just made up like the whole thing and it works. I remember it now. That song will never go, and in my GCSE I will probably end up singing that and everyone will just be staring at me while I'm like, I'm walking at 1.4 meters. Other than songs, if you record yourself saying whatever you need to learn onto your phone and then play it back, that way you will be hearing what you're saying. And what I find really helpful is doing that and also reading it at the same time, so I can record something in a textbook and then I can read it at the same time, and hearing it and seeing it will really plant it into your memory. I don't know what happened with my voice there, but it really jogs it in and it really works super well. So other tips are literally just to say things over and over, sing songs, make raps, maybe listen to some calm music as you're revising, teaching it to, you know, literally teaching it to your little toys and teddies, and just talking to them and teaching it to them can really plant it into your memory a lot better. And generally, those are my best tips for all 3 types of learners. Some overall tips I have for literally everybody is to teach what you're learning. That is number 1, okay? Teach it, help other people, test other people. If you need to desperately memorize things and you are revising the night before, like I did for quite a few of my end of year exams, one thing that is literally a lifesaver is if there is, say, like a memory task, so learning verb endings for Spanish, try and revise them maybe throughout the day. Just have a look at them. Then try and memorize them in the late evening. I mean, like after dinner, after having a sort of procrastination session. Try and memorize them then. Be able to say them. And then when you go to sleep, it is like magic. You will wake up in the morning, you will not dab, you will not be feeling like P. Diddy. You will remember all your amazing verb endings for Spanish. I cannot stress enough how that has helped me. I will revise all my little Spanish things just before I sleep, and when I wake up in the morning, it's just magic. It's just magic. I remember everything because sleep filters everything through your brain, I think. And trust me, if you need to memorize something, try and memorize it before bed. Be able to say it correctly, and then when you wake up, it will be sort of planted into your brain and you will remember it for the test. Finally, practice tests are a really good way of helping you understand what sort of questions they might ask you. As well as practice tests, something that a lot of people don't think to do is to study the mark scheme. That is a really good way of seeing how the examiner will give you the marks. Some apps that I find really helpful are Quizlet, Duolingo for languages, Babbel for languages. I think that is everything I have to suggest to you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and you found it super helpful, as it is exam season. Good luck to everyone doing their exams. I hope you all do amazingly, and definitely try out some of the revision tips because they have actually really helped me. So hopefully they will help you guys too. And I love you all to the moon and back. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I can't wait to see you all next week. I love you to the moon and back. Goodbye.
Let it go, make my body go. Take our bodies high.